So I grew up Christian, and this video is centered around my opinions around Christianity and the Christian God. And not necessarily my opinions, but more so the questions that I have at times for God in personal conversations that I am having with God, or at least I think I'm having with God. It's a sensitive subject, I understand that. And because of that, if you will be triggered, I'm sorry. But remember, there's nothing wrong with questions. In fact, I think all of us should be at liberty to ask and pose questions to the God that we believe in. All of us should be at liberty to ask those questions, and not only ask, but also seek out answers or try to find those answers. I've had some interesting conversations about this with so many people. And in having those conversations, I've found that it triggers a lot of people, triggers a lot of Christians specifically, because those are the people that have asked some questions that I think are tough to answer because they're tough for me to answer. The first question that I always ask myself is, God is perfect. He's said to be perfect. His Bible says he's perfect. So my thing is, why create such imperfect beings but have such heavy expectations of us? Why create human beings who are humans busy being? So we are still learning. We know we have a moral fiber that tells us what's right and what's wrong. We have that intrinsically. Intrinsically, we have that, and it's embedded within our value systems. But more often than not, we've learned it from somewhere. We've learned it from somewhere. And in learning it from somewhere, some of us have then had to reinforce it through the way we grew up, things we've learned from the Bible and spiritual books, spiritual leaders, and so on. But the first question that I would like to ask is that, what was God thinking when he created us? And okay, fine, he created us and had a particular purpose for us. He's all-knowing. So where we are right now, he's supposed to know. The choice that Adam and Eve made for us to become sinners, he knew that was going to happen. He gave us choice. He knew the consequences of giving us choice. So why? Why make us human beings who are imperfect and put such a heavy burden of expectations on us as human beings? Why do that in the first place? That's one of the questions that I have. Secondly, in giving us the ability to have a choice, why give us the ability to choose heinous and seriously damaging things? Things like killing people, things like rape, things like capitulating people's hearts and heads, and, giving us an inclination to our spiritual history, our ability to use herbs and other things to do bad things to other people. Why give us human emotions that are actually negative, and then through those bad experiences expect us to then grow, to learn from the bad experiences for us to be better people? Why not just create us as better people? Because he knew, he's all-knowing, according to me. He knew very well that giving us a choice would have these consequences, so why do it? A third question I ask myself is, given that he is so present, omnipresent, in fact, he's so perfect, why, and this is important, why does he have fallible emotions? There are verses in the Bible that say how jealous he is. He's a jealous God. You shall obey no other God but me. He's a jealous God, right? And there are consequences for you to obeying any other God but other than the Almighty God, right? So being so perfect, a perfect being who's all knowing and everything else, why do that? Why have fallible emotions? Emotions that will perceive him as weak to a more rational person. Why do that? Why have emotions such as that? Why have specific tribes? Why, if for example, there's one God, why allow us to have different denominations? Why allow us to have different holy books? Why allow us to think that there are various paths to you? Why do that? Why do that? Why not just make all of it disappear and start from scratch and make us aware of it, right? Make us aware of it. Just decide to, why not just start off from scratch like you have said to have done it during Noah's time? You know, that's another thing. Even having done that all those years ago, why is it that we are still where we are today, where the world seems to be a much harsher place, a more difficult place for different people, different races? Why the inequality and inequity just by virtue of a black skin or a different race and so on? Why? You know, why? A fourth question that is major for me that I think about is religion and spirituality and everything else is all about faith. It's all about believing. It's all about not being utomas. It's not about seeing, it's about believing, right? It's about faith. You know, having hope for things that are unseen. That's what it's about. But why not just make it evident? Why have yourself revealed as Jesus Christ 2,000 years ago? Why do that? Why not do it now to all of us, like the entire world at once? Like if we are indoors, tell us, like make us all hear your voice literally that tells us, my children, people of earth, come outside and look at the sky, for example. And then we all come outside and we all hear the very same thing at the same time, and we all attest to the God that we serve at the same time. Why not reveal yourself in that way? Why reveal yourself intrinsically so that we live by the faith element? I mean, if we all know that this is God, he just said this. He's given us this time to live, and this is how he wants us to live it. Won't that guide the choices that we actually make versus just the faith element? Why not just reveal yourself in a more pragmatic way where we can't doubt that it's you? Like we can literally all look at the sky and you tell us that I am God, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, we have mechanisms of recording it. We have mechanisms of believing in you more. You know, those are just crazy questions that I have, and I have tons of them. Not because I don't want to believe in God. I do actually believe, but also because God has given me the ability to ask these questions. God has given me the ability to actually ask these questions. And God has given you the ability to do the same. He's given you the ability to also ask these questions, you know. He's giving you the ability to also ask these questions. So those are the four that I actually want to leave now with you. I know a lot of you are smart. are well learned. But not only that, I know a lot of you have your own personal experiences around God and faith and belief systems. And I actually think that a lot of you would be able to answer some of these questions. I actually believe that. I actually believe that a lot of you would be able to answer these questions. And so I'm putting it to you. I'm throwing it to you to say, kindly let me know what you think about these questions. Kindly let me know what you think about these questions. And again, if I was insensitive, if I was triggering, I apologize. I did apologize in advance, but I apologize post the video now. And I'm not trying to be controversial or whatever the case is. These are just things that linger in my heart and in my mind, and it bothers me. It actually bothers me. So because it bothers me, it got to a point where, well, I'm driving home, so this is probably an opportunity for me to just put it out there. You know, it's just an opportunity for me to put it out there. So I'll be awaiting your responses. I love and I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.